Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to the principal's office. I am Jamal Maxim, an igniter of champion leaders. I help aspiring school leaders make the shift from the classroom and step into the principal's office with confidence and clarity. And so I want to welcome you for this session of the principal's office. Now, remember to like, to share, and to comment, and to save this video. Let me know how you are applying these power tips that I'm sharing within our 5 to 10 minutes together. And so what we are talking about today is how social emotional learning, or often called SEL, is more than a concept and is more than a 30-minute lesson. We've been focusing these past couple of tips on how to build a school culture, because right now, as we are dealing with this pandemic during the time of this recording, we're dealing with building a culture with students who have had less time in the building. Now, building culture is important and is challenging any and every school year. Let me say that. However, it is more challenging when they've had the extended time away from being in the school building. And now we have to get the students acclimated to how to interact with other students that they may not know personally or be friends with because they might not live near each other, and as well as adults. So it's all about helping them to manage their emotions and build this culture once again when people have been at home or online. And so social emotional learning is more than a concept and is more than a time block. Social SEL is defined as helping people express and manage their emotions. Now, there's a longer definition for that you can find, on Ohio Department of Education's website and, things like that. And other research will give you longer definitions of it. However, that is the shortest, easiest definition, is helping people manage and express their emotions. Now, when you talk about the learning part of SEL, that applies to students. And overall, you want to help the students learn how to manage and express their emotions. You can't assume that kids know that when they come to school, because I know as educators, we understand that parents teach their children right and wrong and how to behave. And we know, and we have that expectation, but we must understand that they don't always know how to apply the right and wrong and how to behave that they learn at home to a school setting. And so our job is to help them learn how to apply it, not just in a school setting, but what will be a professional setting as they mature and develop. But beyond teaching students that, we have to make sure the environment is one that all adults can express themselves in a way where they can process what they're feeling, express themselves, and know that it's a safe environment, because this has to be the fabric of the culture. Because right now, people are tired, they're exhausted, they're frustrated, and they're angry because they don't know how to deal with what's going on, or they're tired of dealing with what's going on. So it's very important that we have this culture of SEL that applies not just to children, but to every adult that we deal with. Because research will tell you that for children, the students who receive support from social and emotional learning in the school building, they do better academically, socially, and behaviorally. They are able to perform better because they know how to express their emotions. Now, if you've worked in urban settings or tough areas like I have, that I had the honor of leading a school in, you will know that extreme tantrums, extreme disruptions, aggression, and all the behaviors that come with it, they're all behaviors expressing emotions that the student or the person did not know how to express any other way. Because they didn't know how to express themselves any other way, it came out that way. And if you think you don't have time to teach social emotional skills to students and to create this environment of safety for adults, time will be taken from you as you have to respond reactively to an extreme disruption, and then you have to take the time to get the students back on track and things back on track after that disruption. So I am encouraging you to be proactive, because you know as an educator how important social emotional learning is. And you know now it is extremely even more important. And so we want to avoid these extreme behavior and these extreme tantrums. And I would tell you that extreme behavior can also take the form in adults and teachers. Sometimes they don't know how to express their frustration or don't have an outlet, and so they're very quick to put a child out of class, or they have to get out of my room, they can't be here, that kind of thing. Well, all of that comes from not having outlets of expression and not having outlets for them to really be heard and for their emotional needs to be met. So you have to think about, as the leader, meeting the emotional needs of not just students, but the adults. Now, for a student, there should be a dedicated time for discussion and teaching about how to manage your emotions, how to recognize how you're feeling, and how to express them appropriately. There should be a dedicated time. Now, and after that discussion, it should be interwoven throughout the day and throughout the lesson, not simply a reminder, oh, remember what we talked about earlier, but interwoven in, that's the fabric. When you see someone frustrated, you give them opportunity to express themselves either off to the side or however you do it. And so that dedicated time in elementary school may look like morning meeting. In high school, it may look like a morning meeting as well, or classroom meeting, whatever term you want to use. If you're in periods and blocks in high school where your homeroom is actually also a time of instruction in a particular content, it may have to only be 15 minutes, but you need to invest the time to do it because it's important. High schoolers need to express themselves. You need to have moments even during staff meetings where before you hit business that they have opportunities to express themselves, whether it's in pairs or small groups or even just a quick round robin. How are you feeling today? Give me a quick 2-minute check-in, because it's important, because you have to demonstrate care to everybody that you're serving as a school leader. And this will help you create a culture where everyone can express how they feel, have space to process those feelings, and being open and honest without consequences. They're the key, because when adults feel frustrated, they need to be able to express it without wondering if you're going to hold it against them. Is it going to come up in an evaluation or something like that? Because we all feel something as people, and they have the right to feel, the right to express without consequence. Now, sometimes their feelings might not change a course of action, but at least let them get it out and know that they have a safe place. Now, it's the same thing with kids, because when you model this to the adults could then do this for the students. The teachers and the adults cannot model something that they are not actively experiencing themselves. So you want to make sure you think about the needs of the grown-ups, okay? Now, be careful that you don't tell a student or an adult how to feel. Help them process what they're feeling. Telling people how they should feel, or you should be more mature than that, is not the way to do it. You want to be emotionally aware. You want to be emotionally aware. So be careful. Don't tell them how to feel. Just help them process. Now, a ninja tip is this. After they express, after they process, find out if an appropriate solution is needed. Do we need to do something to make sure that whatever triggered that emotion or triggered that feeling doesn't trigger you anymore? So you want to make sure you do that. And then, like I said earlier, you want to be emotionally aware. You have to help others be emotionally aware, meaning that you need to be sensitive to how you feel in a moment and sensitive to how other people are feeling in a moment, and help them be sensitive to how they are feeling in the moment. Emotional awareness is being present, so you can tell how people are feeling in the moment of interaction. And after they express, and process again. Is there anything else that needs to be done to help and to support? All right, so that's it for this week's principal's office, this week's tip. Now, if you need help establishing a system where students can learn how to process their emotions, but also how you can put something in place for the adults to care for their emotions, I want you to go to the link that you see on the bottom of the screen, jamalmaxim.org/strategy session. Get a one-on-one session with me, and I will help you design and put that together. And then we can talk about how I can support you with implementing it. Because even though we're close to halfway through, the school year, we're not quite halfway yet. But even though we're close, it's never too late to start. Don't say, well, it'll take until this would be great to plan out to implement next school year. Some initiatives you need to wait to implement, but this one you don't need to wait. You need to do it immediately because you have to care for the adults as well as the kids. Their emotional needs are essential. And it's urgent right now that you do it. So reach out to me and I will help you design not only something that will help you care for the social emotional needs of the students, but the teachers and other adults in the building that you lead, and also have a process in place for parents. So reach out to me and I'll help you. All right, so that's it for this week's edition of the Principal's Office. Feel free. I invite you to join me in about 20 or 30 minutes on Clubhouse so we can have this discussion some more. I want to hear your thoughts on what I shared, your ideas, and what you are doing right now to care for the social emotional needs of parents, students, and adults. All right, so I will see you then on Clubhouse, and if I don't see you on Clubhouse, I'll see you next time during our live. Now remember to like, comment, and share. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're doing, because I'm extremely interested in supporting you. All right, bye-bye.